It's all yours, Alex. We're gonna be quieter today. I thought that was one thing that Matt said that I read that was worth it. You don't have lineups for either team. For New York. Well, who's playing? New York is playing. Is it Fairfield? Yeah, it's not Fairfield Prep. It's Fairfield Rugby Club. Right. The Pegasi. Yeah. That I have lineups for. So you need the. You look. Okay. I did. Right. Can we get some paper and I have lineups, but I don't know where they are. They're fine. We're ready to start. I put on a headset. Good, yeah. Wait, I don't know. Hey, Greg, 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 Greg. One more thing. Come on up. Get him to. Now, come around. Come around real quick. We have to get out of the way, guys. Okay, we're not gonna be in here. We can go in the VIP room. We can't be in here. Oh, it's not open. They didn't open the VIP room. Oh, that's really. Okay. I want you to get Alex live, please.
Check 1 2 check. Check 1 2. It's working. I don't know why you're fine. Yeah, I got you. Belt and suspenders kind of guy.
Yeah, you should.
Good.
Talk into this. You can hear yourself, right?
Good morning, everybody. This is Alex Goff from Goff Rugby Report. We're at the URugby Bowl Series here at Mozilla Field on Iona College in New Rochelle, New York. This is day 2 of the action. We're going to start with a high school sevens game before we get into the first of 3 more men's college bowl games. Yesterday, sunny, very warm for November, beautiful day. Then the wrath of nature came striding in on 7 League boots last night. Wind, cold, a little bit of rain. Sounded like the world was ending. The world did not end, but it is windy and chilly. And if you look down on the field, you will see a few hardy souls wrapped up in their hoodies and their knit caps and extra shirts and extra gloves and all kind of extra wrapping to make sure they don't freeze. Same goes for me. We are in the press box here at Iona College. And I'll tell you what, while we're waiting for Fairfield Pegasi, the Fairfield Rugby Club high school program, and New York to get ready, I'll tell you something about this Iona College. They've done a really, really nice job in welcoming the rugby community to their campus. They've the locker rooms. They've bent over backwards to make sure that it is a pleasing experience for everybody. They come in. You've got stands all the way around this field, Mozilla Field. We've got parking. We've got a college fair inside one of the buildings there at the end zone with food. We've got access to the athletic center. At least it was yesterday. And it is a really nice school here in New Rochelle, Iona College. Give them a little bit of a plug. They, if you go to a Christian Brothers high school, you can actually get a significant financial incentive to go to Iona College just because you went to a Christian Brothers high school. Everybody's looking for a way to pay for college. So here we are with a high school level sevens game going on. We've got a couple of guys playing catch between the 2 teams as they're trying to stay warm before the game starts. And we have Fairfield. I apologize if I end up saying Fairfield Prep. I don't mean to. It's not Fairfield Prep, so I might slip up once or twice. But it is the Fairfield Rugby Club that we're talking about here. And they are in the gray with orange and blue accents. And then the New York Club is in the blue with orange and white accents. Yesterday we had Three very intriguing matches. We had a AIC against Iona. We had Mary Washington against Temple. We had Rutgers against Stony Brook. Only that last one, Rutgers-Stony Brook, did we have a team pretty much lead all the way through, and that was Stony Brook, winning 29-12 in the end. But the other two games, Mary Washington had to come from behind to beat Temple, and AIC had to come from behind to beat Iona. Very exciting stuff. We also have coming up Delaware against Fordham, UMass against Buffalo, and then the last game of the week will be Binghamton against Loyola of Maryland. So I think the players are getting some last-minute instructions from Steven Ciano, who has been working tirelessly to get this thing going. Very calm. You know, there's a lot of waterfowl action here, where you look all calm on the above the water, but you're paddling like crazy underneath. That's happening a great deal this weekend. But certainly, Stephen looks the serene swan cruising along the lake, but he is paddling very hard underneath. And if you're watching this, waiting for this to start up, we do have a few notes from the rugby world outside of Iona College. In Division I AA playoffs, we saw Lindenwood Belleville come back, have a comeback and then have to come back to beat James Madison 37-34. Bowling Green defeated Mount St. Mary's. Notre Dame College beat Syracuse fairly handily. That was probably expected to have happen. And then the University of Cincinnati defeated St. Joseph's. So today, Sunday, will be some semifinals going on for the fall playoffs. Cincy against Notre Dame College, Lindenwood Belleville against Bowling Green. We've had, I think, our coin toss. No, we're going to do player introductions. That may be what we're doing. And the players are all being sent to the post to get ready to be called back up onto the field. And we will probably have national anthem as well. These are portable posts put on the artificial turf field here in Iona. It's metal posts with a counterweight, kind of like a little base, rectangular base that projects out behind the posts. So you'll see on the ground there that there's a whole bunch of padding that's padding around that counterweight base. Keeps the posts upright, make sure they don't fall over. And in this wind, they could well fall over. And we're going to have player introductions soon. Some of the players we're going to be looking at here with this New York versus Fairfield game. For the New York club, Kobe Lee Wheatfield, Jeremy Espinal, Jorney Polanco, Jordan Ayala, Sam Belknap, Robert Margraf, Jesus Rodriguez, Brenton Collins, and a player who goes simply by Juma. And I'm going to sign off here on the audio so that I can do the official announcements on the field. Beautifully done. National anthem, especially considering it is very cold and very windy, and that's a tough song to sing in the best of circumstances. Well, here we are, ready. We're gonna play a rugby game this morning, folks. Here at Iona College, we have New York Rugby Club against Fairfield. Fairfield are in the mostly gray, New York in the most blue. And this is going to be a 7-a-side game. Getting us all warmed up for the bowl games that are coming up, we will have Delaware against Fordham right after this. I'm really excited to see this one, that Delaware-Fordham game. It's really one of those measuring sticks between two very different conferences. Kickoff is good. It's windy. You got to watch out in terms of keeping that ball in play. That's Paul Santandrea taking the kickoff and going into contact. Santos out. And now we've got a kick downfield. There's the chase. We got two. Look at the pace there. Controlled barely by New York, rolling around. Cold hands in there too, but somebody picks it up. And then the break, right through. Dragged down so near the line. They're really, really right on there. Can they get the ball out? They get the ball out. They win it, but there's the ruck over. Referee says no. Coming in from the side from an offside position. And Santandrea wants to tap quickly. Goes in low. Goes over. And that is the first try of the day. Fairfield Rugby Club. And that'll be 5-0 for Fairfield. And New York just getting back to midfield and getting a little bit of clarification, I think, on the penalty there, which was a sort of it was an in from the side situation. The kick, no good. And that looks like it was Ben Ehlers who scored the try for Fairfield. Try by Ehlers, Fairfield 5-0. And there's a high kick. That looks like that may go out in the full. Yes, it does. Got to be very careful on this turf, first of all, which is a pretty bouncy turf. That drop kick is going to get some height. Second of all, there is a breeze, and it's a kind of an unpredictable little breeze, but it is basically coming across the field toward our camera. There's the quick tap from Lee Whitfield. Oh, he sends it out to the wing, and then the pass back inside. And I think that's Ehlers again who grabbed it, lofts it back inside. Great counterattack. Fairfield in, under. And if I can catch a number on our try scorer, well, that was some great teamwork there. The offload back inside from New York just went to a Fairfield hand. And just like that, they turned it right around. Just making sure we get the number right and we give credit where credit is due. That was a really nice counter by Ehlers. And then he just flipped that ball over the chasing defense. And trailing beautifully was our tall man, number 21, Justin Collier. Try for Fairfield. Collier, 10-0 Fairfield. And there, we're moving it now. That's Belknap skating across the front, trying to offload. Back across Lee Whitfield. He couldn't quite get the handle. It was a high kind of Markgraf. Lee Whitfield again. Out to Ayala. And back inside. Good ball movement from New York. Not getting all tied up in the rucks a little bit. And penalty. Darren Fernandez went right in to poach that and right on the ground. Cynical. Off he goes. He is yellow carded. Fernandez gives you the what I do hands just sort of out like he didn't do anything wrong. But, yeah, he went right in, dove onto the ball and stole it. He gets yellow carded. 2 minutes, so pretty much the rest of this half. Fairfield down. Now, a chance, Jordan Ayala. And then offloads to Polanco. Got to get some better clear out there from New York. Lee Whitfield going backwards. Out again, Belknap. Trying to set somebody free. That's Juma. Juma, just Juma. Nothing else, just Juma and Margraf into contact. They're not breaking through, though. Yeah, sloppy ball. Ben Collins. Well, he goes in. They just, instead of wrapping around his legs, they've wrapped around the ball. And then the pick straight up the middle. Ayala. Penalty against Fairfield. Not releasing the tackled player. Ayala taps. They're not 10. Lee Whitfield. Excuse me, not Lee Whitfield. But I think that's Rodriguez. That's Jesus Rodriguez. J.C. Rodriguez. In he goes Polanco. Polanco is taken down. He loses the ball forward, but it is a penalty. Penalty against Fairfield. Not 10 meters back on the first penalty. A little bit of indecision there by New York, trying to figure out what they want to do. But they can be very patient here. They've got 7 on 6. Take advantage of that. There we go. Tap by Jordan Ayala. Fakes the pass. Tried to go himself. Down to the line. And he is over. Just like that. Try New York. Ayala. Kind of thought he'd want to move that ball a little bit, but he did take it himself. Kick is no good. Fairfield leads 10-5. So a little bit better work from New York. Really the first time they've had some consistent possession. That first attack they had, it was that 50-50 pass. Or as somebody once said to me, 50-50 passes don't work 80% of the time. And by definition would not be correct. But regardless, caught again by Sant'Andrea. They're moving it back and forth. They lose it. And there we go. Lee Whitfield. Ayala. Ayala's going to go around. Nope. Not going to go around. Lee Whitfield. Back again. Oh, there we go. Ayala. Right up the middle. And it was just a pass, loop pass. Just like they draw it up on the training ground. Try New York. Jordan Ayala. And the high fives. The hip bumps. And there's all smiles on New York now. 10-10 with the kick to come. Kick by Sam Belknap is good. 12-10 New York leads. It is halftime. Chilly, chilly day, chilly morning here in New Rochelle. A little bit more typical of a northeast November. We've got the camper hand warmer, chemical hand warmers here. You see the guys with the normal New York area uniform of the hoodie underneath the jacket. That's important that you have the hoodie and the jacket. But then don't wear the hood. You have a knit cap. So the hood itself is, I'm not sure, it's supposed to carry your lunch or something. Now, if you're watching this and you're thinking about the bowl series, really what is this bowl series? And we're watching the high school, but the college teams are coming up later. What this bowl series is a way to just put a nice, tidy little bow on your fall season. Teams go through the season. There's not a lot of time. You get started maybe late August, early September, start playing your games every week, September, October, into the first half of November. But then you're done. Your conference season ends. Maybe you do a playoff, maybe not. There's not really a lot of time for like extended playoff. You want something else, though, something that says we finished it off. You could go with a national playoff situation, and many teams do that, but there aren't not every team. There's so many teams out there that don't get into the playoffs or opt not to, partly because of the expense of it. Here we are, November 20th. Some schools are thinking about midterms. They might have 2 midterms through the semester. Some schools are thinking they're gearing up for finals. And remember, got to go to class and pass your courses, things like that. This is a really nice way to just say we played somebody different. We did something different. We made a bit of an event about it, and it works because it's an event for more than one team. That's how it works here. Iona College done a really nice job hosting URugby. We're kicking off for the second half, and the kickoff from Ben Ellers, kind of a low one. New York's feeling pretty good now. I think Fairfield's back to full strength after that sin bin, a very costly sin bin, 10 points. 10 points with with Fernandez off the field. A penalty to New York, and they're going to kick for touch and take the line out just about 10 meters inside the Fairfield half. The guy who seems to be sort of working the ball through for New York. Oh, goodness gracious, that was not even close to straight. I think they thought they were going to do a quick line out because nobody set the line out, and the referee said he didn't like that. So he's going to give them a mulligan on that, which is charitable of him. And a good contest at that line out, but out it comes, and there's your guy Lee Whitfield moving the ball, and then he gets it out to Juma. J-U-M-A, that's all he comes from. Hands up for Robert Margraf. And then Whitfield trying to loosen it. Margraf again. He's got Polanco with him. Where's that ball? It worked out. Espinal works it out. Lee Whitfield. Big loopy pass to Jordan Ayala. Looped around. Brenton Collins. He had so much room on the outside, didn't he? But he wasn't able to get that corner. So now it's turned over by Fairfield. And then lost forward. Referee says, I think that's a knock on. So that will be a scrum down to New York. This may be the first scrum of this game. There really haven't been a lot of scrums, that's for sure. Possibly the second one. Belknap to put in for New York. There's Brenton Collins standing off, hoping to get that pass. And the ball came straight out of the tunnel, so we're going to just try it all again. Backline lineup there for New York. Collins, Juma, and Margraf. Collins. Juma. Juma puts a step. Gotta love those glowy compression pants. You recognize him anywhere now. Out to number 7, Polanco. Johnny Polanco. Recycled quickly. Belknap. Belknap puts a move. Gets it to Juma. Taken down. They're just working slowly. Closer, closer. There's the interception. And it was, before we had the interception, we had not releasing the tackle player. The tap by Jordan Ayala. No problem at all. Try New York, Jordan Ayala. And New York takes a 17-10 lead. And the kick. Kick is no good. Score remains 17-10 for New York. Well, Fairfield started off, on fire there. They scored that first try. Really a case of too many penalties by New York. And then there was the interception that set up the second try. Nothing wrong with an interception. Love him. Doesn't take anything away from your ability to play. Great work to make that interception score for them. But after that, they've just sort of seemed to have lost the plot a little bit. Santos working the ball wide. And that's Saccarini, who's grabbed around the throat just a little bit, but he managed to survive it. Ehlers fakes. He goes back the other direction. Santanini, he's got a little bit of help out there on the wide spaces. Back inside again. Much, much better from Fairfield now. But they've lost it. And there's the counter. And you see Juma now getting that loopy pass. Oh, he's just got 4 people looking at him. Polanco taken down. And he didn't release. Oh, well, we've got I think, rucking over into someone's neck. So Ehlers taps and gets it to Fernandez. And that's Santos. Santos fakes it, gets it back out to Santandrea. Santandrea, just a little bit closer. Fernandez, way too slow getting that ball free. Again, grabbed around the neck. Santos, Ehlers, still weaving Ehlers, and he stretches, doesn't make it. Then the picking and the dive over. Referee says, yes, that'll be fine. And it is a try for Fairfield. Try, Fairfield Rugby Club. And I didn't see who picked up that one. That, if you would just turn around, we'd be able to see it. But Fairfield's back in the lead. Jake Pappas. Try by Jake Pappas. Kick is no good. New York leads 17-15. So, New York still holding on to that lead. Got to get those kicks over, my friends. And I think a little bit of a kick there. He's leaning back too far, trying to guide it in. You got to get your body over that kick, drive the power of your body through the kick. You'll just drive it through the post. A low worm burner kind of kickoff, picked up by J.C. Rodriguez. Rodriguez goes into contact. We've got about 12 seconds left. Can New York close it out? There's Ayala. He scored all 3 tries. Can he get a 4th? I know what he was thinking there. Collins said, you could have passed it to me or take contact, but that sort of little fumbly pass, not really too super psyched about that. Robert Margraf says, hey, maybe the game's over. And that is full time. New York Rugby Club comes back to win it 17-15. Coming up next, Delaware against Fordham. And we'll be back with Delaware against Fordham after this.
That's special is that it has everything that makes academic medicine great. We have the fellowship-trained specialists, but we still bring the style and type of medicine that's indicative of a community practice.
We are all trained in our area of interest and expertise, so our patients see a doctor who specializes in their particular injury.
I did have 2 consults with major New York City hospitals, but I just felt that the care was best here. I was treated like a rock star. The surgery exceeded any expectations that I had.
Welcome back, everybody. This is Alex Goff from Golf Rugby Report with Ryan Trost from This is American Rugby. We're at Iona College in New Rochelle, New York at Mozilla Field. And we are here for the URugby Bowl Series, and we are here for the fourth game.
Morning, ladies and gentlemen. Feeling good today, looking good today. Everybody's bundled up, a little bit colder, but a lot more excited. I think a lot of these players saw the stuff yesterday, and they're ready to bring the heat today.
So the fourth game of the series. In this case, it is Delaware against Fordham. Now, Fordham finished up 4-2 in their conference play. They just missed out on the championship game through tiebreaker. But they've got to feel like they were up there in the Empire Conference, one of the top teams. Delaware, well, Delaware is a little bit different. They're winless in the Rugby East. They are a Rugby East team. They are actually a team used to playing well, playing against top competition. So what the question here is, has that competition toughened them up and gotten them ready? Still a rebuilding team, gotten them ready for this kind of game? Or is Fordham, which has been winning a few games, are they the team that's in better shape?
So both of these programs are really doing a lot to rebuild right now. Fordham has not won a league game in 3 years until this year. Then they went 4-4 this year. They went 5-4 overall with the loss to Iona and then the win against UMass in the playoff against the ECRC. They are feeling pretty confident. The UMass coach, Phil Ciccarelli, though they beat Fordham in that game, he was adamant about Fordham being one of the toughest teams that he had faced all year.
Yeah, I think we got that from Iona's Bruce McLean as well. He was very impressed with what they were able to do. They have some size. They have some rugby intelligence. And here we are. We are going to pause for the national anthem. And the national anthem presented by our singer, whose name I didn't get, but she did a fantastic job both times. Very cold and windy out there. Try and get that song out, not too easy. Fordham, I'm going to let you all guess who Fordham is. They're the guys with the big F on their jerseys. Delaware.
Just a hint.
Just a hint, right? F. Believe it or not, it is for Fordham. And Delaware in the blue shorts with the black and yellow tops.
Daniel O'Brien leading the troops, resetting their mindset. You know, I had a chance to talk to Andrew Giraldi and head coach Sean McCarthy while they were warming up, and they're very positive on the year, very positive on where the program is going, and very positive on the aggression that they have these kids bringing, both in the set piece and around the fringes.
We're waiting for something.
Delaware's got their final moments, resetting their heads.
We're getting the Lord's Prayer, in fact. Yeah, well,
like
they pray for
whole-
the other team. I mean, that is what they're doing, is they're offering a prayer for the other team. Fordham University is a Catholic university. I think it's a Jesuit school. I'm not sure if it's a Jesuit school, but it's a Catholic university, and they pray for the opposing team.
I like it. I like it a lot.
Well, it's a sign of respect. And we are getting ready for the kickoff. And a really nice high kickoff. Under that was Zephyr Lambert. And lost. They try to consolidate, and already losing possession there is Delaware. And out quickly, Phil Sweeney just running onto it. Pass from scrum half, Timmy Moran, and then Mara, the
They
fly half.
struggled.
They lose it, fumbled that first play in the back line.
Yep, John McCurdy with the nice line speed on the D there, the inside center. Senior, very much a leader on the team.
And look at that man, Zephyr Lambert. I think we're going to be talking about him quite a lot. It's a windy day, and the Zephyr has already blown through. Henry Carr, your flanker, he struggles through for another. Now back out to the backs. Davis, Jake Davis, trying to get that out to McCurdy. And McCurdy fumbles. So our inside centers, not a good start for either one of them. They see those.
Defensively, a good start for both of
Yeah,
them.
yeah, and they're looking up and seeing that line just come straight into them.
Both very much attack on D. Part of the keys to the game and keys to the season for Fordham. Attack on D to acquire the ball, not to let them continue attacking. We want to acquire the ball and attack in the counter.
Well, we're here at the fourth game of the Bowl Series, Fordham against Delaware. I'm Alex Goff. I'm with Ryan Trost. We're here at Iona College. It's 0-0. We've just started, a couple of minutes going, so stay tuned. We just got started. There's the pick from Fordham's number 8, James Brasil. Good run. And over the ball they go. Again using the forwards. Look at
Good
a
support.
sideways run, though.
Good support with them, though. Those guys are stacked and rolling right with each other. I like them.
That was Toots. And then Mara looking to feed back in again to the big guys.
Parker Lynch takes that.
Now they have runners. And that's Zitnik.
Max Zitnik, the son of former NHL star Alexei Zitnik.
Well, they lost it. It's taken out quickly. And they're really starting to think about counterattacking. Lambert.
Beach Hess.
Another big boy.
Delaware definitely has some size.
And using his first receiver, Tom Abram, the fullback. And again, Leo Beccari trying to marshal the people. Slow ball coming out. The pick and the go.
Nice little
Lintner.
squeeze through.
Oh, that's a good clean. I don't know who went in there, but somebody rescued that ruck. And Lambert wants it again. So he's taken down by O'Brien, Daniel O'Brien.
Well, if he-
And now we go with the backs. McCurdy. Sorry about that, Ryan.
It's okay. I was just saying, if Lambert can keep that work rate up, he is going to wear out those forwards for Fordham.
There's Abram. Abram breaks through tackle, flicks it back inside. Cut off there by Beccari.
That was
The
that
wing.
Behind the back on the wing thing
That
we were talking about
was,
this morning.
we were talking about that. That works if you've got people behind you, and that wasn't so bad. I think it was actually more of a good play. It looked like from Vincent Beccari, the 19-year-old finance major, New Yorker, all-conference, and his career goal is to be a savage.
It's a pretty good career goal as a
Right,
rugby
it
player.
that
Be
sounds
a
to me.
savage.
That sounds to me like he's been around Bruce McLean. McLean loves to use that word. Scrum down then for Fordham at the knock-on from Delaware. It seemed a little harsh there. Timmy Moran is going to be putting it in.
Pretty even in the
Murray.
scrums both times so far.
Mara boots it downfield, down to the wing. That's Galliani. And the referee says somebody was offside. I think he was saying that the back line, again with the over-the-head offside signal, but the back line from Delaware was offside. So that's a nice little let-off for Fordham, and they're going to go and take kick to the line out. And that's Jason Mara taking the kick, Ridgefield, Connecticut. Says he's the funniest guy on the team. I don't know. Fly halves being funny guys?
I know a lot of fly halves who try to be funny.
The props are usually the funniest guys on the team. Sometimes your blindside flanker. Really, everybody knows nothing would happen without the hooker on the team.
Almost never the scrum half either. He's
No, the
just
scrum half's way too serious.
Yep.
Scrum half actually throwing in on this one. Nicely consolidated. Basile. So Moran takes it out. The pop pass into
another nice
Zhitnik.
inside pop.
That's Zhitnik. Again, Moran. Moving it quickly now. Smartly not passing it. Parker Lynch saw that that was going to be intercepted. So again, we go with the forwards. That's Toots. Claims he has the biggest biceps on the team.
I think you might be right. I was looking at that physique. That kid is all kinds around in all the right places, right?
Sun not out, but the
Nice
guns are
pass.
out.
Yep.
Penalty, though, going on the ground to seal off because they really didn't have that ruck properly set up, and so Delaware now has it going. And Abram, we've seen him just step in, the fullback, sometimes a scrum half, sometimes a fullback. He's talking an awful lot there. Carr now trying to get going.
Yeah, Abrams is a career scrum half. He's moved to fullback this year to kind of lead from the back. You know, they have a very small contingent of seniors, so Abram, McCurdy, Peach Hess, those are the guys who they really need to be vocal, and McCurdy does that better from the back instead of, you know, in the weeds of a scrum half.
Go. Well, there wasn't a great kick from Abram. It was easily fielded by Bracari, the wing, but there was a penalty back close to the midfield and not rolling away. And it looks like McCurdy will make a decision on what to do with it. The tap of the run, and guess what? Zephyr Lambert takes it and he offloads out of contact. Nicely taken. I'm not sure. I think that was Galliani. No, Galliani's on the right wing here, so we'll have a look later. Lintner powering through, using their big men. There's another one. I think that was also Newbie. And out we come now. Use the backs.
McCurdy.
Down to the line, and we're good.
That was a nice little shake off of that hit. The hit came in high, turned his shoulder like a judo move there.
And Jake Davis fed it out to John McCurdy, and the center, John McCurdy, is over. And Ryan, we talked about this one, and we may have split on how this game was going to go. I'm not sure, but Delaware started off very nicely.
Delaware started off very nicely. I think they understand their game plan at this point of the year. They've, you know, seen tough competition, and I think, you know, their idea is run straight and hammer it down their throat until they make us do something else. That Jake Davis fly half, he's somebody that Struan Murray's very high on as a freshman as well. Nifty hands.
Now, I've seen a lot of teams where they have a big bruising forward who likes to run it. And the issue with that is, how long does he like to run it? And if he runs a phase, takes a phase off, runs a phase, takes a phase off, that's fine. If he runs a phase, takes 2 phases off, eventually takes 3 phases off, then you're not getting value for your money, and he's not clearing out as well. But here, Zephyr Lambert has probably had 7 or 8 carries.
Yeah, he's definitely not taking phases off yet.
He's making it through the gain line as well.
Yep. Yeah, we talked about that last night with Jamie Pollard with Rutgers, and a little bit more work rate out of him. I mean, we gave him one of the game man of the match awards.
Lovell going in for Delaware, and Osanubi, and a run from Carr as well. And that was looking so promising, but it was ripped out. And there, open field, the wing, Vincent Bricari, the Frenchman, Vincent Bricari, probably. But he still can, either way, whatever language you're using. Parker Lynch goes in. And there's Mara. Mara's tied up by 3, but he somehow gets it out to the outside center. Nathan Fisher. And Nathan Fisher, that's what happened when you send 3 guys in to make a tackle. Somebody is free, and Fisher goes in for the try.
Yeah. I like the pattern developing from Fordham. They're using Parker Lynch on that crash ball, that short ball, drawing the angle back in, and then setting Nate Fisher off free. Those are 2 of the key players that Sean McCarthy and Andrew Giraldi picked out as being very important to what they're trying to do with their backline moves.
Nathan Fisher, physics major, Augustine High School, and I will say Vincent Precari is not from France. I misread it. His major is finance, but it's in very small type, and so I saw that and I go,
looks like
oh,
an
he's from
R."
France. I may as well say he's from Remulac. The kick is good from
Nate
Fisher. Fisher
The goal kicker, the tactical
scores
kicker.
it, and he converts it. What I really liked about that is how that offload from Mara, that worked great, and then Fisher just took off. At that point, let's not worry about passing here. You're close in. Nobody stops you the first 3 or 4 strides. You may as well just get up ahead of steam and keep going.
Absolutely, and if they do catch up to you, you've got a platform set.
This is
The
one of
support play we've seen.
one of the things I've seen on the international scene with the U.S. national team. We get a lot of players who are from overseas, and it's the ones from overseas that when they get a little break like that, they pin their and they go. The ones who are U.S. trained are often still trying not to look. I'm worried about looking selfish, and they're looking around to pass. And at some point, you say, just go.
Yeah, once you're past that gain line, time to put the tail up.
Well, Fordham starting very nicely, moving that ball. That was Logan McIntyre taking contact. Bricari, the not Frenchman. He is not French, that's for sure.
Tweets fighting
And
him off.
Toots pushing. There's Mara again setting it up. Well, the lock forward, Mike Toots.
Parker Lynch, a lot of work. Loses
well.
it in the ruck, though.
That was
Lots of
Osanubi.
offloads, nice looking.
Galliani. And Bakari now half out to Hess. Your prop, Hess again, charging through.
Yeah, Delaware's got ahead of steam.
Abram. Abram trying to get through, but pushed a little bit back, and now they're resetting. Osanubi, the flanker.
He's got an interesting step. He squeaks through those little gaps.
Yes,
Zeke can
yeah.
go.
Well, he big long stride, and he outstrode the players behind him, and he was all alone. And he held onto the ball, isolated. And when you're isolated, you're going to get got for that many times. He seems to have hurt himself while doing it. Although, just from his body language, I think contact.
I was thinking the same thing.
He just seems to be trying to deal with something. And we'll be taking a break here. Well,
That's special is that it has everything that makes academic medicine great. We have the fellowship trained specialists, but we still bring the style and type of medicine that's indicative of a community practice.
We are all trained in our area of interest and expertise, so our patients see a doctor who specializes in their particular injury.
I did have 2 consults with major New York City hospitals, but I just felt that the care was best here. I was treated like a rock star. The surgery exceeded any expectations that I had.
Yep,
we
going
got
with
a
that
split backfield. And we might see sort of an 8-9-15 move here on the right.
Not a lot of depth with those 3, but
They're all ready to come in there. Number 19 is Matt Ramirez.
Nick Jimenez, the 11, doing the kicking and the wing duties.
A
Fordham
big
with a
shove from
very good
Fordham.
shove.
That's the one. They're going to take that one. What a huge scrum from Fordham.
That was massive. They're setting the tone right now with this defensive stand. You know, it's a momentum thing. You know, you want to set the tone as a defense, and if offense
Well,
wants to score.
They didn't consolidate it. Hess has picked it up somehow. Hess has kept going. The referee didn't have a problem with that. And I guess, credit to Delaware, they kept that scrum as a scrum. No penalty. Lambert, the Zephyr.
They are attacking him, but he is not easy to bring down. Really think he's going to wear people out.
Well, they're still using him, that's for sure. That's Wilkins, I think. Back out.
Oh, there it is.
And then quickly
Nice
out to Matt Ramirez, the outside center, number 19. And that is a big try. And you talk about momentum, Ryan.
Yep.
They scored out of this. They needed that.
They definitely needed that. You don't want to come away from having the ball in that end for 5 minutes without points. So that's a big moment for Delaware. They know they're in this. They can withstand, you know, heavy pushback, still put their ball where they need it. I like that inside move from Matt Ramirez on that as well. It's another one of those where he's making the move as the pass is being released. The defender's going the wrong way.
Well, interesting that they got shoved off the ball on that scrum, but they somehow put it as a scrum. They didn't pop it. They didn't disengage. Very difficult to do. They didn't get penalized for anything. Then suddenly everything falls apart. Referee lets it play.
Yep. Fordham had to scramble to get
A
back.
pretty shocking kick from Abrams, so he misses there.
We're looking at a substitution coming here.
We do. But it was a good job. And then Hess was able to pick it up. And we have number 16, Jack Hand, coming in. He is a combination scrum half, fly half. And interesting that they're going to bring him in. And I think they have brought Bakary off. Because it looks like, I may be wrong about that. Well, let's see exactly how it mixes up. But it looks like they put Hand back at fullback. And they're bringing Abram up into a halfback position. Ball lost forward. Rescued. Well, that's Bakary right there.
Parker Lynch has a very high work rate as well. He's in there on that restart. He's in there on a lot of inside balls, a lot of rucks, a lot of defensive work for him so far.
More with the pick and goes. The Delaware forward pack is working hard, but Hess lost that one forward.
He might have taken a boot on the head there. As people were
Carr
stepping
was
around
in
going.
there. And Jared Wilkins. Baker, all of those guys working at it. So no, they've just put Hand in at fullback. They moved Abram to inside center, and it looks like John McCurdy may have been moved off the field, may have injured himself, or been injured. Don't want to say
You're
it's
right.
self-inflicted. That would be shoddy of me to say that.
Good to have diversity in the skill set of your backs. Tom Abram, I mean, has been playing a lot of positions.
Oh, great refereeing right there. Absolutely what you want to see. Great hands now, Fordham. McIntyre, the fullback, hasn't had a lot to do. You can tell by the brightness of his jersey more than anything else. There, all the way back, Minikuchi has rescued that. As a good number 6 will do. Bad ball. He rescues it. Brazil, also not French. That means he's also a finance major. Mara set up that last penalty try. And Moran.
See McCurdy now on the sideline. He
Well-
is looking ginger on one of his knees.
Yeah.
Not wearing a jacket, though. I think he might be trying to work his way back in. Call it a blood sub. There's a possibility
It's
of that.
possible. Definitely possible. And quick little hands. McIntyre, Logan McIntyre, the fullback, is taken into touch. Grabbed quickly by Hand, who is thinking about throwing it in. Then Abrams thinking about throwing it in. But the line out is set, I think. Well, I want to go back to that scrum. Because the ball looked like it might be out. And
The referee told him to
and
leave it.
Bakary picked it up, and the referee said, "No, you're offside," and he let go of it. Now, he was offside, and then he knocked it on because he let go of it forward. The referee said, "Let's just let play. You've given the ball back. You haven't affected anything." I think that's terrific refereeing.
I agree. I like the play on. You got to keep it loose.
Osanubi.
Kids are learning.
McCurdy is now putting on warm-ups, so I don't think we're going to see him. I think that's it.
This one here, no, that's Jack Hand.
Oh, that's Hand.
Back
So
off.
Hand
Yeah,
is
so
Hand is
McCurdy's
back off.
in.
So you're absolutely right that they brought it back for the temporary sub. Hess.
Teach with
Oh, the
quick hands.
no-look pass from Hess
There's
and the
McCurdy
no-look
with the
catch.
grip.
McCurdy.
Nice pin.
He no sooner does he come back on the field than he gets right in the middle of it. Galliani
Sets him away.
and Jake Galliani, and that was Champagne Rugby all the way back out, hands out to
That's Nick
Matt
Jimenez.
Hess, the
Nick
prop.
Jimenez was over there on that wing.
And excuse me, Nick Jimenez. Not Galliani, but he's out to Hess, and Hess does the no-look pass. And right there is McCurdy ready for it. You know he called for it. And then he set up a classic 2-on-1, and Jimenez finished it off.
Executed. I like the juggling. You know, he almost
Yeah.
bounced off the hand, reeled it back in, pinned that defender perfectly, and Jimenez was right with him.
Well, they've showed that they can power it over with the forwards. They've showed that they can work it with the backs. These two props, Zephyr Lambert and Matt Hess, they're getting a lot of work done offensively for sure. We did talk about the idea as the kick goes over from Abram, much better than the last one, which barely made any altitude at all. We talked about using a prop as a runner and how often they'll be doing other stuff. Well, Lambert's getting stuck in the rucks. He's clearing out as well. He's doing his job more than just going out and doing the glory stuff of running. Happy to see that. So those two forwards, those two front row guys for Delaware, making it happen at the moment. 17-14, Delaware leads Fordham, and there's a mistake for Mara with the kickoff, and it'll be a scrum center with Delaware's put in.
Yeah, speaking of that front row for Delaware, Struan Murray is also very high on his freshman hooker, Jared Wilkins. He's had a very good year. He's very quick with ball in hand, and he's looking at him to be a leader coming up in the next year, too.
Again, we're looking at the value of playing tough competition. Delaware is 0-8 in the Rugby East. But again, it's the Rugby East. They've played Penn State. They played Kutztown. They've played West Point. They played St. Bonaventure, Iona, Buffalo,
Naming 'em.
West Virginia. That was the last one last week against West Virginia. They didn't feel too good about that one.
Well, they felt they had a couple more
Loose ball.
scores that
Excuse
they
me,
left.
Ryan. There's a loose ball. It's kicked down the field. Picked up. Looked like it was going to be a try sitting there on a silver platter for Fordham, but referee has called it back for a penalty.
And that's the reason teams join a conference like Rugby East. They want to face the best so that they know that they are competing against the best. And when they take it on a team like this who also feels very good about what they're doing, they know that they've already faced it.
Exactly. There's no
soft
intimidation factor. But I've talked to a lot of teams when they start talking about joining or forming a tough conference. What you say is that's great, but somebody's going to go 0-7. Somebody's going to be last.
Yep.
That doesn't mean that you're the worst team in the NFL is still a better team than a football team in some other league somewhere else. The worst team in the NFL goes and plays a team from Germany. They're going to kill them. That's
Just the way it is.
fact. It's the way you're there to compete as well as you can.
Yep.
Back with the line out, and it was not straight by Delaware. And interestingly, despite the drive they put on earlier, Fordham opted for the line out. Nice take by Daniel O'Brien, grad student lock, and running up there, Zhitnik. That guy can run. He makes a lot of ground. They need to be with him a little bit faster because that slow ball coming out. They go weak. Break it out with
Well
the
done.
hooker,
Stepping over, stepping around.
Andrew Washburn. McQuaid Jesuit product from Buffalo, New York. And then
Well done.
looking for the
Well
interception, and he
And
had it.
offload.
And getting out to Jimenez, that was Ramirez to Jimenez.
Man, Ramirez looking sharp right now, isn't he?
He really saw that coming. Great interception, too, 'cause it wasn't an easy one to do. And Hess,
Lynch
not a good
interfered with
pass.
that.
Not a good
Parker
pass
Lynch
from
breaking
Jake
that up.
Davis. He would like that back, and Hess was trying to run onto something.
I'm giving credit to Parker Lynch on breaking up that pass.
there's Nate Fisher kicking ahead, chasing. Abrams got it, though. He's in trouble. He is chased down. Cirillo, as well as Fisher. And the box kick high, not really going anywhere. Challenge, 2 players for it.
Takes it himself. Nice job. Leo Bacchieri.
And Fordham will take that back. And running the flankers now, Minicucci. Good clear out there from Greg Mills. They needed that one. Mara is going to do the little fake thing. Fisher
Nice
pops it back inside. That's Lynch, Parker Lynch.
That was a pretty good read. The defense covered it up nicely, but I like that read from Fisher coming it back in.
And Minicucci, he was ready to go somewhere, and he just dropped the ball forward, just left it out of his hands. And that'll be a turnover. You know, he was seeing some strong running from Fordham. It's just the consolidation. It's like big, powerful run, gain line, 2.5, 3, 4, 5 seconds for the ball to come out. They get that down more like 2 seconds. They're going to cause Delaware a few more problems. It'll be a scrum to Delaware. And you see Jake Davis set nicely back in the pocket.
Nobody on the far wing.
No. So if it squirts out a funny direction, all kinds of problems for Delaware. But now Abram is thinking about drifting over the other side. But they're gonna kick to the right and they're gonna chase it clearly. We're here in the bowl series game. Delaware, we got about 8 minutes left in the first half. Delaware is leading 17-14. We have tries from McCurdy, Ramirez, and Jimenez, all backs for Delaware. And now they're running a play, and that was Ramirez. Back now they think about kicking it. An odd way to go about it, but they did clear it. And Fordham has received tries from Nate Fisher and a penalty try. Fisher has converted both of those. So a little bit closer for Fordham because Fisher's been more successful with the kicks. One of them was right in front of the post. I'm Alex Goff from Goff Rugby Report. I'm with Ryan Trost from This is American Rugby. We're in Iona College, and this is Fordham, Delaware.
The URugby Bowl Series. Gotta love this event every year. Really good stuff. Both the teams here today. Great contest so far.
And the teams love it. The players love it. It's something that says, this is what we do. We play the bowl game. Oh, and then going up the middle, Fisher again. There's your guy.
Cirillo.
Getting it out to the wing. Cirillo, as you called it, cutting back inside. Wow. You see that aggressive running is working for Fordham.
Thought they had him. He got right through.
And then the loose ball, and it's kicked away. Then it bounces off someone's leg and ends up going dead. So we're going to, I think we go back for a scrum from where the ball is kicked, and we're going to go with it for a 22. We're having a whole conversation about it, but I think we're going to go for a 22 dropout. Again, you look at that aggressive running from Fordham.
Yeah, I think Fordham's aggressive running is a good sign, but I think they get a little bit ahead of themselves. A little bit excited. Those balls aren't clean in the offloads.
Oh, a beautiful take. I didn't see who took it, but it was a very nice take from the Fordham player. And again, they go with their big guys. Toots, held up, high body position, beautifully ripped out by Zhitnik. The economics major, only 19 years old.
Only been playing rugby for 2 years. Again, the son of a former NHL star. Giraldi and Sean McCarthy both agreed that if they don't get him noticed by somebody in the larger selection pool, then they're not doing their job. They definitely think this guy has a bright future. The way he plays, the way he's learning the game quickly.
Alexei Zhitnik?
Yes.
Alexei Zhitnik, yeah.
Buffalo Sabre. Longtime Buffalo Sabre, played in the Stanley Cup Championship.
And going in for the inside center, Parker Lynch from Santa Monica. Don't get a lot of Californians at Fordham. Nate Fisher, your try scorer, Augustine High School, all-conference player. Really, really he is impressed. And then running with your big guys.
Caught well, though, by
O'Brien.
Osanubi.
Yes. Osanubi's been playing well. There's Zhitnik again. He just loves to hit people.
I think,
Does
Wilkins
not
just learned
care.
it the hard way.
He so does not care. And that was a very brave tackle there by Wilkins. And Wilkins was sent flying, spinning around. The spinner, the whirling dervish.
Yeah, that was, I think, what McCarthy was getting at when he says Maxon plays like his father played hockey. He plays rugby like his dad played hockey. Aggressive.
He really does. And sending in your number 8,
charge.
Brazil, also not French.
A lot of potentially French.
He could be French. It's a Frenchish kind of name. Mara looking it out, getting out to the wing.
Nice, well done.
And then Vincent Brucheri, also not French. He's actually
really
from
like that. Turned it back in.
Barcliff Manor, New York.
Pinned his man. Looked like his man was drifting off. Turned it back in, and then turned it back out.
And many of the good things that we're seeing from Fordham sort of start and end with Jason Mara. He's organizing things very well. He's a kit product, and he
I think I
understands
have my favorite
space.
mustache on the day right now. Phil Sweeney on the weekend. That is a glorious caterpillar.
Very, very aggressive running. If they retain ball, they're working well. But we talked about Zhitnik running, Fisher's running. Both of those players very good at running through contact. The kick from the touch line is good. And 21-17.
Leader in scoring.
Fisher.
Fisher.
Fisher's kicking is a crucial part of this.
Crucial part of their entire game plan.
And in fact, we talked about that with a few teams this year. Who has a good goal kicker? If you have a good goal kicker,
big difference. Conversions count.
These conditions are not easy. The ball doesn't fly too well when it's chilly. A little bit of breeze. All those things are factors.
Yep. And we haven't seen a lot of the ping pong stuff that we've seen yesterday in the sun. You know, I think both teams realize when you have a cold day like this, keep it close. We're seeing the straight running.
I mean, you want to go into contact because it's warmer in.
Instinctively, yes.
And the high kick. Hess goes for it, but it's O'Brien. Sells himself out. O'Brien in his final season for Fordham.
Trying the
And
weak
that's
side
Zhitnik. That has to be Zhitnik, just the way he's running. Mara now. Fisher.
A little bit high for him.
Well, Fisher got out of problems, worked his way forward, offloads.
In the second spin. Yep. Fisher's one of those guys. Smart, leaving that for the skip. Thought it was his, then retracted those arms.
And you try scorer Brucheri.
Offside by the 8 there. Referee right on it.
Toots goes through again.
Oh man.
Oh, tried to drag him down by his pants. Didn't work so well. But eventually, he didn't give up on it, Will Baker, and he did get him down, was grabbing his ankles. But the aggressiveness of the Fordham running is what's got them ahead 21-17 here with about a minute to go in this first half. 21-17 for Fordham leads.
Had Delaware on the back foot for a bit now. You can see some real huffing and puffing. The Blue Hens guys, they're a little bit tired of backing up and chasing, tackling them down. Again, fully overloaded to one side. Not a single guy over here on the weak. Confident with their scrum, though.
Goes out to Davis.
Purdy making some moves. Just sliding through. Marcus Allen-esque. Glide.
And so we had a sort of a turnover there and a fumble, and everyone just seems to be standing and looking at each other, but I guess we've got a line out.
Got the scrum half going in.
Tommy Moran.
Timmy?
Timmy Moran, excuse me. Computer science major from Gonzaga College High School.
Spotted to the 4.
Zhitnik
On
keeps
that.
going. Zhitnik.
Wasn't a great pass. He fucking sped up for it, pardon me. Reese down low.
And there's a penalty, not releasing the tackled player. That's such a common penalty now. And O'Brien says, let's go for points. Fisher, come on. There's the guy who's, they know the time is up here in the first half. This is the way to get something a little bit more going. And if he gets this, there'll be a full converted try ahead. Fisher has been kicking very well this season. And certainly today, he's 3 for 3 conversion attempts, including one pretty much from the touchline. Very smart move, and you saw the experience of Danny O'Brien, the grad student accounting major, another Californian, in fact, from Palos Verdes Rugby Club in Southern California. And he comes in quickly and says, no, slow it down, let's go for points. And it's high, a lot of distance, not the direction. It's going to be no, and that'll be halftime. 21-17, Fordham leads Delaware. Ryan, really entertaining so far. 3 tries each.
Yes. I think that last 20, it was kind of a story of 2 quarters, right? The first 20, Delaware really stood up for itself and like had us turning heads. That last 20, I think Fordham found their rhythm a little bit more.
All right, we're going to be right back for the second half.
Best special is that it has everything that makes academic medicine great. We have the fellowship-trained specialists, but we still bring the style and type of medicine that's indicative of a community practice.
We are all trained in our area of interest and expertise, so our patients see a doctor who specializes in their particular injury.
I did have 2 consults with major New York City hospitals, but I just felt that the care was best here. I was treated like a rock star. The surgery exceeded any expectations that I had.
We're looking at the sevens team, the second sevens game from the 2 teams, New York and Fairfield. And there was a nice breakaway from number 17, Anthony Saccanini for Fairfield. That puts Fairfield up. This was an interesting game earlier today because Fairfield started much the same way. It was on, oh, look, Fairfield looks pretty snappy, and they score an early try. And then what happened was New York came back with 3 tries and won the game. So, guys, to have a look at this sevens game, we're at halftime of the the Fordham Delaware game. This is Fairfield against New York. Fairfield in mostly gray, New York in mostly blue. Guy to look out for in New York, Jordan Ayala, number 22. I would say that, except I don't see him on the field. So there's Polanco. And they're working on a couple of other guys. Benton Collins getting the ball out. And there is your man, Juma. Kind of a main runner for them. But he knocks it forward. I actually don't see Ayala here. He scored 3 tries. I kind of think if you have a guy who scored 3 tries, put him on the field. Unless he hurt himself. Well, it would be a scrum down to Fairfield.
Yeah, looks like just registered. They had the wing all alone over here. New York's wing finally noticed it, came over. Got the all-hair team for the NYRFC, I think.
Oh yeah, they do like their styles. Ehlers trying to get that. They've lost it though. Juma back to Belknap, and there's the backhanded pass, and they've got a little bit of a power runner there. I think that was. I'm not sure who that was. It may have been Espinal. Benton Collins. Down rucked over by J.C. Rodriguez. And then Belknap goes forward. And then Juma goes forward. This is very straight ahead. Pretty basic stuff. Rodriguez spins it out. Out to Collins. Collins running through. Collins broken through now. Looking around for a little bit of help. Taken down by Custodio.
Oh, ripped out in the tackle.
Yeah, stolen nicely. And kept alive. Fairfield. They're looking to make something happen here. And that would be, I think that's San Andrea. And he's gone. Nobody's going to catch him. He's going to cruise in a little bit.
That counterattacking sevens, man. Love sevens for the counterattacking, the long plays. You know, that looked like you had Fairfield all the way on the back foot for quite a while.
Did you catch a number on that?
Quick switch.
Did you catch a number on our runner? I don't.
Not yet. He was the man on the far wing the whole time.
I think it's a 2-digit number, so it's either Darren Fernandez or Anthony Saccanini, but we'll see. He's tired.
Probably. Long run, a lot of defensive work before it.
The conversion is good. We got 12-0 for Fairfield. And onto the field now. I think Ayala just came on for New York. Well, that was a really good kick because it just made it 10 meters and it just stayed in bounds, and then it was carried out by New York. Collins should have just let it roll.
Definitely should have let that one go.
And Fernandez, not the try scorer. He's going to throw it in.
Little chipmunks work. No, you take it. No, you take it.
Yeah, that's right.
No, I insist.
And then stolen back. And that's Pappas who took it and is going up. And the try goes in under the posts. And that was Fernandez. And that's a third try for Fairfield. New York's looking around and say, what happened?
Yeah.
Well, really,
Go ahead.
you got to short down on that line out.
Yeah, and you know, mistakes like trying to pick that up as your momentum is taking you out of bounds, giving possession back. You know, it'll kill you when you got a team who can strike like this.
So Saccanini scores a try earlier. Fernandez went over. I think Saccanini got 2. And there's Ayala. There's the 3-time try scorer in the first game. They brought him on just to sort of straighten things out. Look at him be so elusive. Back again, trying to make maybe a little bit too much happen.
I was wondering if we were going to see someone like, you know, who's clearly an athletically gifted player.
Well, interception. And that's Ben Ehlers, who's been playing very well. And he just took down that high pass, and then he goes. And we're going to see a card here, I think. I think we got a late hit on the touchdown. maybe. But you're right. You've got players who are going to say, go in and make something happen. It's like, okay, well, I didn't mean that much.
Correct. Yep. And especially down 24, he comes in with a little bit of like, well, I'm going to take this on my shoulders. He knows he can. He's done it before.
26-0 at halftime. And I wouldn't have pegged it. New York won the first game. But this happened yesterday as well in that Play Rugby USA defeated Era in the first game and looked so much the better team. And then the next game, Era came around and won that game.
And it's like a extended halftime almost. You get a long time to make some serious adjustments to your game plan, get kids' heads around what was going on, what you were seeing. In 7 so often it's a tale of two halves, and I think in this setup when you have 2 games back to back, it's a tale of 2 games.
Yeah. Well, New York is thinking attack before they're thinking possession, and as such, they are losing some of their they're losing possession.
Other than that one long series where we just saw the power game, forward with that one turnover. Sevens is a counter-attacking game for sure. Got to hold possession though.
And here we are at halftime of a high school sevens game, which is being played during halftime of the Fordham, Delaware college game. A halftime within a halftime. We're giving the extended halftimes for the college teams. I'm not sure if that's really causing them any consternation at all. I mean, it's cold now. I mean, if they had to be outside on a cold day like this, I think they might be saying, "What gives?" But they get to go inside. They warm up. The coaches love it because they get to talk more.
Yep.
And I haven't heard anybody say we lost momentum at halftime.
Right. And we definitely thought that might have been the case yesterday with Mary Washington. They had built quite a bit of momentum just at the end of the first half. Then the second half got underway very late after the long sevens game with an injury. But they came back and finished off the game well.
Nicely taken on the run there. And I think that was J.C. Rodriguez. Kobe Lee Whitfield now taps quickly. Slow ball coming out of that ruck. And now we're going Belknap. Still slow. Lee Whitfield. Rodriguez. Ayala. Ayala's going to go. Takes off. He's got 2 guys to beat. He hasn't done either of those. And
good defense.
Referee says we're fine. A knock on. They ripped the ball out of Ayala's hands.
So that's twice we've seen Fairfield rip the ball out of someone's hands. After that long possession that we saw early in the first half, that's what happened. Down here again, that's what happens. And is that an experience thing? Because I remember the first time somebody just picked me up and the next guy pulled the ball out of my hands. I was like, what just happened? First time I was
That's
playing
right. Yeah, you
fullback
can take
in
the
our
ball
new
out of my
scrum
hands
half,
like that?
The same thing happened, and he was like, what?
I think it's an experience thing. It's an age thing. You want to make so many things happen, and then you get caught. You're thinking at least the offload, but sometimes you just have to set that ruck.
Absolutely, it's all about platforms.
And setting a ruck is not a defeat.
No way. I mean, that's resetting the entire offense, getting everybody back in their shape. I think so far this half, New York's been a little bit not quite on the same page. They're talking a lot, looking a little bit frustrated as far as like expecting a guy to be here or there or him to take it instead of me. But they're in a good position right here.
New York put in the scrum. He's putting it in from the quote-unquote wrong side. In sevens, it doesn't really matter that much, and he wants to be from that side. And picked up by Lee. Not sure who picked that up, actually. It might have been Polanco. And then out it comes again. Juma trying to control it. I don't know who knocked it on first. Some desperation passing. New York wants to salvage something from this. Let's just worry about one try at a time. They've got 4 minutes to go. They are down 26-0. Fairfield Rugby Club. The Pegasi are leading 26-0. Pegasus, of course, a winged horse. Don't get a lot of rugby teams named after winged horses. I don't know why. Should be
And sevens, I
makes
think
sense.
that's a nice nickname.
Sacanini. Recycled. Now we're moving it, and there's a break in there, just grabbed by the shirt, but it took 4 or so to finally bring him down. And Collier now rescues it, and not releasing the tackle player. Ayala taps it. Nobody's even close to 10 meters. And Belknap, Lee Whitfield. Nice little shake and bake from J.C. Rodriguez.
That defender did not buy it.
And
though. It was
referee might have done well to talk about not 10 because Fairfield's not retreating
here they
10
go.
at all. There's
Got
the
the
tap.
numbers. Sacanini again.
Sacanini again. He's going to just go.
I believe he was the defender on that too, and the kid did the shake and bake. Looked good. Sacanini, though, followed through with it.
Very impressive run, and he's in good shape, and Fairfield's in good shape. And that'll make it 31-0. Fairfield leading 31-0 in this second game. The first game, New York won it. I'm actually trying to remember the score. I think it was like 21-15.
Looks on some of the
21-17.
faces of those New York kids are like, what the heck, man? I know I'm doing what I'm supposed to be
Yeah,
doing.
well, what is going on? They're just trying to do a teeny bit too much, and those turnovers will kill you. The kick is not good. It's still 31-0. He said pointedly, hoping the scoreboard people would hear, that it's 31-0. 31.
I see a lot of coffee trays walking by now.
Yes.
Nice take,
nicely
bud.
taken. Oh, isn't that nice?
Yeah, that was nice, but momentum. Man, I wish I had those kind of hops. That kid was up there.
He was. So 90 seconds to go, give or take. 31-0 Fairfield leads. They really fixed some of their issues, partly just that they wouldn't keep hold of the ball in the first game. And in this game, they've done a lot better job, actually, of stealing ball. New
Really
York, very
countering
high in
hard.
contact, ripping it out.
And their counterattack's pretty deadly. I mean, we saw Sacanini at least twice, 3 times on that counterattack. Were all 3 of his tries counterattack tries? I know the last 2
Yeah.
were. But it's really good to see, like, real athletes playing rugby at the high school level, you know. For a long time,
Yes.
it's just, you know, kids who couldn't quite make football or whatever,
Right.
like myself. You know,
There goes Zuma, trying to break through a tackle. He has Rodriguez
Another
outside
rip
him, but
away.
he's lost it. He's been ripped out, and we're going to go back to a penalty. Where's it? What are they doing? The referee's like, I'm over here, and they're all playing. The referee says, no, we're going to come back here. I remember coaching a game back in 2004, a girls' high school game. The players all started. The referee wasn't on the field. The
They just
referee was still
went
getting
after it.
something done, and they started the game. So they kept doing it. They were running a line out when the referee showed up and said, everything's fine, but you got to wait for me to start the game. Ayala just sort of supermans it back there, but this time Fairfield is not 10, and this time the referee did notice it. And away we go. New York looking to salvage something. Rodriguez, he's got room on the outside, but he is taken down superbly well.
and then So there's that skip
High
pass.
tackle. Yeah.
We were
yeah,
talking about that
that's
at
right.
breakfast this morning. You don't necessarily want that skip pass. You know you've got the guy out there on his own, but you need to pin defender first. Otherwise, he's just going to drift over. And that's what happens here. Fairfield covers it up.
It was a penalty for a high tackle. Polanco going through, and we're going to see a card here. Some negative play. We're going to see a card. I'm assuming it's going to be a yellow. No time left on the clock. And Zaccanini will end what has been an outstanding game for him on the sidelines. On the naughty stool, Ayala taps it. Passes it to Markgraf,
Not enough
who is
intense
gang
on that
tackled.
run.
High tackle again.
Ayala.
You know, Fairfield is
Resolute
they're not retreating at all. And that would be Polanco. Again, a loose ball. Another big tackle.
Oh, you got him.
Down,
Did he just lose it?
And it
at the
knocked
try
forward.
line?
And
He
we're going to
had
go
his
back to
man
another
looping
penalty.
over.
Rodriguez
Chose to
took a
take it.
shot, and it's taken him a while. He's not quite all the way up his feet. Referee, is he reaching for his pocket again? Somebody else
Time
is
has
twisted
expired.
up, and that appears to be Jordan Ayala.
Again, I think Ayala was just trying to do too much on his own there.
Lee Whitfield comes back. Well, I've already filled out the sort of, player, the MVP award things. Ayala didn't have a superb game in this one, but I put his name down because he game the first one, and he was all about what he was doing last time. So we are done here. The teams want to be back on the field, the college team, but we've got a little bit of a injury by Ayala. Is up on his feet. He's in pain, but that's no big deal. He is able
Only
to move.
temporary.
Exactly. And so now Kobe Lee Whitfield will come in, tap it, and we'll see if New York can get something working. Whitfield, try. Taps, reaches out. Referee says, I'm tired of calling penalties. Let's call a try. And so it is a try that makes it 31-5 for Fairfield.
Done. Well done, New York. You want to finish strong. Finish with points on the board. Salvage something.
And the kick is away, and that'll be the ball game.
Cheers, boys. Cheers.
We'll be back in a few seconds for the second half of Delaware Fordham. Don't go away. All right, fans, but we are back here at the URugby Bowl Series at Iona College, Mozilla Field here in New Rochelle, New York. We have got a barn burner of a game going on. University of Delaware really punishing in the forwards, especially those front row guys. And they've scored 3 tries, and Fordham University, with their hard-running back row and their centers, they've scored 3 tries. The big difference, Nate Fisher has converted all 3 Fordham tries, and it's 21-17 for and this is Alex Goff with Ryan Trost. And Ryan, you asked me this question, so I'm going to ask you the question. What are we going to see in the second half?
Well, I think when we were chatting, I think the fitness is what's going to carry the day here. Both teams are strong. Both teams are running hard. You look around, and Fordham's fitness looks like they're going to be able to stay with them a little bit longer. It'll be interesting to see how Delaware does keeping moving those big bodies around as the game gets late. Games are won on fitness, as you know, and as you pointed out accurately while we were chatting at half.
Well, the long kick rolled into Minakuchi's hands, and he went right into contact. Fordham now, they're going to challenge that point of contact for sure. And there's the kick. Mara. Hand going back. And Galliani going back. Galliani not really able to control it, but it bounces into touch, and it'll be a line out for Delaware. And remember, Delaware a couple of years ago, they are handed essentially a death sentence, 5-year suspension for something that wasn't really something they had done. It was more of a student body thing that was pinned on them. After a couple of 2 years, where they revamped a bunch of stuff, and they worked very, very hard to make sure that they uphold the image not only of the game but of the team and of the school, because there was a little bit of culpability there. They were allowed back. And that was very, very good news. It was really a lot of work from Chris Mattina, who is the captain and the president of the club, who stuck with it.
Stellar guy, like Chris Mattina so much.
And a terrific player as well. He graduated last year, and this is now a rebuilding year, a team where they've got a lot of young guys, not too many super experienced players as a result. There goes Fordham, a more experienced team for sure. That is Brazil, the number 8, and now they go with their forwards, Mills. Out to Mara now, looking for Charlie Baylor. Baylor, there's your super sub. Breaks through 1, breaks through 2. He's held up a little in the tackle there by Jimenez, but he manages to get to the ground. And he's a youngster.
Like he replaced Parker Lynch.
That sounds about right. Moran getting the ball out. A great run to start things off for Charlie Baylor, the Arabic major from the North Bay Rugby Club, who played in high school. And he says in his bio, and obviously he's joking around, he is a 2-time winner of USA Rugby's most overrated player of the year. That's just a little bit of self-deprecating humor.
So maybe the centers are pretty good humorists as well. We didn't talk about them in the humor department.
Maybe. Well, centers, yeah, that's true. It sort of depends.
Although I think centers generally are pretty serious guys. They were like, give me the rock. I want to hit somebody. Don't talk to me.
And the ball is knocked forward eventually in contact. Taken out by Bakary, the scrum half. And Abram kicks it. They're all everybody. Beautifully taken in the air by Logan McIntyre.
That was good technique in the air. He didn't have a lot of hops, but he got that knee up, got in the air so that you cannot attack him.
And there goes Mara. Mara fakes it. Mara's still going. He's taken down in the corner and taken into touch very nicely from the guy we've been seeing an awful lot of now, Joe Osanubi, the flanker, the long-legged flanker, gets involved for sure.
That's what you want from your flankers, right? Got to be chasing the ball. Got to have work rate in the flank.
He has that long stride, which helps sort of conserve energy and cover ground. Well,
Boy,
there
he really
goes
covers
a really
ground, yeah.
nice throw taken from Delaware. Penalty. Pulling down the maul, and that'll be a little bit of a reprieve for the Blue Hands. And Abram comes in and says, just give me the ball. Let's just kick this thing out. Depth an issue for Delaware for sure. They've sustained some injuries. They don't have a big squad, as we said. They're trying to rebuild all of that. They've been recruiting hard. You'll see some good talent coming in from high school players. But again, next year it'll be a lot of sophomores, a lot of freshmen.
I think that we really need to talk about the way Struan Murray and Chris Mattina set the standard last year, are building culture within that program. We heard one of the coaches, Tom Persanis, yesterday talking
Matt
about
Persanis.
Matt Persanis, pardon me, his son, and how he's actually interested in Delaware, and a number of his friends are also interested in Delaware based on what they see building and how the interactions they've had with Struan and players who are already at Delaware. They recognize what a program that is becoming, and they feel they might want to be a big part of that, despite also having options at maybe Penn State or Kutztown.
Well, part of it is a decision as to what you want out of your college life. You want to play rugby, you want to play it seriously, but do you want it to be the only thing that you do? Maybe not. Maybe you want to do some other stuff as well. There goes Abram for Delaware. Grabbed around the neck by Baylor. And we see a lot of calls for high tackle from the sidelines. Referee didn't really worry about that. We got another sub coming in, powering through.
Number 20.
And that is Derek Daly.
No, that's Juice Elling. They switched those numbers.
Oh,
didn't
sorry. Did they?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry.
20.
No, never mind. I'm looking at the wrong team.
Juiced.
Juiced Elling. Is he Dutch? Let's go.
Fisher
Zephyr
comes in
Lambert.
bravely.
And then quickly popping it out there. And then
We got
Matt
some
Ramirez.
extras on the back end.
And a little bit of handbag swinging. Some.
Bit of a Russell. Bit of a
Yeah, well, Mike
Greco-Roman
Cirillo
style.
put his hands up and says, not me, I'm not doing anything. Nick Jimenez looked very unhappy, and then Weiserhead, Leo Beccari, the scrum half, comes in and just says, calm down, calm down. There's an awful lot of emotion. You got a lot of kids. A lot of these kids know each other. A lot of these kids do know each other from high school. They played with each other, against each other, in a lot of sort of the same schools.
A lot of them played against each other for their entire careers.
Well, the call to the carpet,
Here it is.
Vincent Brusaleri.
Got him for the dump tackle.
He's not
Yep.
dump tackle. So that was the start of the whole thing.
Yep.
And not number 11, but Mike Cirillo,
Yep.
the right wing.
Well, that'll be interesting. We were talking about how we expected Fordham's experience and fitness to kind of take over in the second half, but now they've got 10 minutes down a man. Delaware's got to feel confident. You see our big
Lambert.
man, he looked happy with that ball.
He liked that, just sort of powered through that first contact. Osanubi just consolidates a little bit, got a flat-footed pass. Nice show and go from Jake Davis.
Another freshman who's got some real talent, real potential.
And Beccari goes. The pickup from Will Baker, the number 8.
We got Osanubi sliding way out here on the wing. The fullback also, big overload.
Lambert, I don't know if he's going to pass it, well, he lost it in contact, but he was down. And I think that's a fair call. Both knees were down. You can't just keep ripping it. Hess pops it out.
Jimenez.
A good platform now from Delaware. Lambert, again, goes in. He's going straight ahead.
Big clear from the big man, Peach Hess.
Baker. Davis. To Abram. Abram breaks through one. But he's taken down. Does he have
Did not
the
have
clear
support.
outs? And it looks like he does have clear outs. Fordham going straight down on the ball. Delaware coaches are kind of apoplectic on the sideline, but the referee caught it. I'm not sure what their complaint is.
My
And
man,
tap
Matt
and run
Ramirez.
and go, and that was a try. You catch who that was?
Matt Ramirez.
That was Matt Ramirez,
That's
the
his second.
center.
That's his second.
That was such a nice, quick tap, pass it, pass it. Let's get moving there because everybody was consolidating, looking at the ref and looking at the ball. Let's get it away from where everybody's looking.
I'm very impressed with Matt Ramirez today. A couple of times now, he's taken things on and made just enough of a slip to break a gap. He's had a long run. He's had 2 tries. Looking good so far.
Abram misses it. Abram thinks he got it. That's an interesting thing. We're going to put a star by that because I think that was over as well, but the judges didn't like it. It's 22-21, Delaware leads, and you saw how Delaware could make it work. And they send their big guys up, and they use Lambert a couple of times, and they use Hess, but they retain that ball. They're able to make Fordham backpedal. Now, Fordham has who can run as well, but they with the penalties, they put themselves on the back foot.
Yep, mistakes will do it. And the yellow card especially, you could see the shoulders up, the chest out. As soon as that yellow card happened, Zephyr Lambert was like, give me the ball.
So the restart goes to, bounces off somebody, rolls into touch, and it'll be a throw-in for Delaware.
Man, thinking about that conversion, was it good, was it not? That would have put him 3 points up, which is a pretty significant difference because then it's a penalty.
Zhitnik, that was an overthrow. He picked it up, broke through a tackle, knocked to the ground, but not held, got up, kept going. So he's gained about 15 meters, and that is just given away with a pretty lousy pass for Jason Mara to try and do something with. And now we've got to run. The turnover is taken.
Well read by the 15, but that time the skip pass really worked.
Nick
The,
Jimenez.
Defense was a little too short.
Nick Littner.
Powerful carry.
Baker. Oh, he was right on that. Could hear the collision up here.
Like
Up
on
very
those,
quickly
stand-up
is
D.
Fordham. Lambert. Oh, there's a sidestep. I saw a sidestep from him.
I like the looks of that.
And out it comes again. Abram looking to
Saw
work
the
with
gap.
Rodriguez. Abram, he's all alone. Abram going to cut through again. Sidestep, sidestep.
Oh, he's making it look pretty. Look at that.
And the try in from the all-everything guy, Tom Abram, and Ryan Trost from that turnover. Everything looking good for Fordham, and then he just gave it up to them.
Yeah, that bad pass, and not picked up neatly by the fly half, booted up, knocked on, loose play, played advantage, and Fordham off, or Delaware off to the races.
It kind of looked like Fordham for a second, just a second, stopped playing on that knock-on, like, oh, it's a knock-on, it's going to be a scrum.
Yeah, the defense got short for a second.
And good refereeing, again, play on, let's see what the advantage is, and they worked it. You look up, and he saw that Nick Jimenez was free.
Beautiful.
And Jimenez made about 30 meters on that run, and then they were able to consolidate. And then a great run as the kick does indeed go over this time. That great run from Zephyr Lambert where he was
Nice
caught
sidestep.
flat-footed, and he got around his guy and got around another guy. And the thing about him is he's making the gain line.
Every
so
time.
many times, yeah.
Yep. And then, I mean, Tom Abram looked like, a Sprite. I mean, those were... That was a lot of moves.
It really was.
Broke ankles, really, is what that was, right?
He was waiting for his moment. He got his moment. There's a high kick taken by O'Brien, who's really played well for Fordham. I would imagine this is his final game for Fordham, graduate student. And there's your prop, Phil Sweeney, a social innovation major.
That's an interesting major. Social
Sounds a little
innovation.
weird. Logan McIntyre, social innovation. O'Brien again. Look at that pass. Very nice. Oh, just lost. That's cold
Pressure
fingers.
D. Pressure D got that guy thinking twice. Alligator armed it.
Yeah. Okay, I thought it was just cold hands, but
Yep. Fired up.
we'll see.
Number 6 draw. Uh-oh. Let's get everybody backed up a second here.
Well, that yellow card on Mike Cirillo, I think, really cost them because that was
Fordham needs to,
21-17, and it was 12 points since then. And I think Cirillo is still on the sidelines. And that was the gap that Abram took. Somebody's trying to cover outside center and right wing. And Abram said, well, okay, you covered the wing, and I'll go through the spot left by the center who's not there.
Boy, he sure did. He saw that gap, and he pinned those ears back. Fly half, I think, got caught unawares. Like, whoa, he's going. He was by him in a minute. In heartbeat, I should say.
Good drive from Fordham. We have seen a good drive from them before, but Baker rescues it and shoves away one tackler, and off he goes. Abram again going through.
Zitnik takes him down finally.
Makes 2 miss. Davis through.
Turned over.
And Mara is going to kick it, see what he can get out of it. Jimenez.
Minicucci
1, 2,
again,
3.
missing that
O'Brien
arm
finally
tackle.
brings him down, but doesn't hold him. Jimenez back up. Cleared out. Kneeling. Rodriguez. A pick and go.
Minicucci on the tackle again. His work rate is there. He's missed a couple of arm tackles. That was he put in.
Baker again picking up. Baker just sort of cleans up a little bit of garbage. And they go left end.
Move.
Jimenez and Rodriguez linking up. Rodriguez was from the earlier game. Kneeling. Joost Elling going through. Hess is going to pick up and go. Close to that line now. Well, they're all just sort of standing around. Somebody's going to do something. Is that Lambert?
Yeah.
You're right. Lambert won. We know that. Slow going. And they can afford to be patient now. They can afford to take their time. Osanubi clearing out. And they lost it. Squirted out and through. And the referee is going back to a not rolling away penalty.
Well, that's a lucky break for Delaware. They get another shot here.
And really, they have so much room on wide. They just send it out. At this
Galliani's
point.
staying disciplined with that, too. Hands on hips, like, okay, guys, when are you going to give me my shot?
Yeah. So I think we're going to run, or are they going to go for a line out? We've actually seen a lot of tap penalty plays this weekend.
True. There
And
it is
there's
again.
the tap.
Lambert.
There's Lambert.
Steam.
And went in too high, for sure.
Fordham, well done.
And they were keying on him. They might have used him as a decoy.
It's a good call. It's a good call, Alex.
Well, arms are raised. Referee says, no, held up. And one of the
And
players thinks
arms
that
are on
means
head.
that's not two hands making a little box does not mean that's a try. That means it's held up. So it'll be a scrum to Delaware. Remember, we saw Fordham shove them off the ball earlier.
Did really well in that earlier, yeah. But I think you've definitely got the tails up mentality right now with Delaware. They're very confident, very eager. Another tone-setting moment here. Fordham needs to find their guts, needs to find their heads. Looks like a couple of props are well away from the scrum. There might have been some substitutions there. The 1 and the 3 are both walking away from the
Interesting. And it's set. But Carey puts it in. Well, they held it pretty well. And Davis just went on a crash. Again, they're short-handed is Fordham. Again, they cut back in. It's really just asking for Fordham to reset their defensive line. Referee comes back. Penalty. We're going to tap it.
Actually, Alice, I do see the 14 is back on the field. Looks like that penalty has expired.
All right. So this is a binding penalty. And they went back with Zephyr Lambert again. And now they're going out with Elling. Joost Elling. Also far too high in contact, getting close to the line. Got to stay low. Baker, also too high in contact, but they've retained it. Now the pick and the drive. Held up.
Lots of good work going on. Fordham doing their diligence. You can see the nerves kind of setting in. The scrum half, as that last one was reset, was looking very nervous, had his hand on his head for a split second.
O'Brien was underneath that, and everybody got up, and he's lying face down in the turf. Finally drags himself up, and he's
taking a little bit of a knee earlier.
Yeah,
well,
he's injured his shoulder, and he is off.
Well, you know what Fordham was talking about before the game was their depth. Actually, they've had as many as 100 guys at practice at times. They are very confident with their depth and what that bodes for their program and for USA Rugby, and hopefully today for their sake.
Well, I guess they had a sub come on. They were ready for him. Well, it's a good drive now from... Oh, well, he had his pocket picked. Certainly did. Timmy Moran reached the hand out and grabbed that trailing hand of Leo Beccari, and the ball went spinning free. And referee says, we're going to call that a knock-on. And that's generally discouraged these days, is the harassing scrum half. It kind of takes a thing out of the game. I have always liked the harassing scrum half, but referees now are basically saying that if you're close enough that you can pounce on the opposing scrum half at the back of the scrum, you're probably offside.
Yep. That
Too
offside
bad.
line really does blur a lot when the feet are shifting
I
around.
loved it. I think you got to go in and get it. But anyway, Davis now, Abram. They've got basically 3 fly halves playing in that back line with Hand also there. Slow ball out of that ruck. Hess working very hard. Back out. Not a great pass. Lambert lost the handle.
Here they come.
And now we go for the run.
Counter-attacking.
Zhitnik rolled around.
Smartly sets the platform instead of trying to bounce that off the deck.
And Mara. Well,
Gets away.
that was nicely taken by Brusseri and spun out of problems because he was about to be lined up. And the kick downfield again. There's the chase. Fordham done very well to survive all of that.
Who
And
wants it? You
look
want
at it this way. We now have a line out inside the Delaware half. That was about 10 minutes of time right on the Fordham line. They came away with nothing.
Nothing. And so does that add confidence to Fordham's? Like, all right, we've withstood their best. We know that's their best. Let's go. Or are they like, thank God.
Yeah. Well, I don't know about adding the confidence to that as Carl Malate comes on for Jake Davis for Delaware. What I do know is, usually if you spend a lot of time trying to score and you don't, you are discouraged. So it's sort of a negative feeling for the team that should have scored. Baker now for Delaware. It is 29-21. Delaware is leading. 7 minutes to go in this game, in this bowl series game. Delaware versus Fordham, if you're just tuning in. 29-21, Delaware leads. I'm Alex Goff from Golf Rugby Report. I'm with Ryan Trost from This is American Rugby. We're giving you your announcing team on this one. There's Abram for Delaware. He's going to boot it downfield. Not much of a chase, but it rolls
Great
beautifully
kick.
into touch.
Great bounce, great kick. The pressure's really mounting in this one. You can see the tempers flaring a little bit there before that long stand. I think Fordham expected this to be going a different way by this time of the game. Delaware's really fighting for their pride here. I heard from Stu and Murray a couple of times now when I picked against them, so I think the whole team is like, no, this is our day.
They really do want, so again, to cap it off and say we're making strides. We didn't make strides in the win column in Rugby East, but we're a Rugby East team, and we're going to make strides. Now the good news is the sun has come out, and penalty. No, not. Excuse me, not penalty. I just saw a hand out, but the ball is spilled. Pressure defense, and that was Baker. Lambert. Going through one, going through two. He wants it now. He sees that line. Lambert, nope. Just taken down.
Playing advantage on the offside.
Yes, and certainly offside was Derek Daly.
Yeah, the Fordham defense is gutsy. I like them. Think they can withstand another one of these barrages?
Another penalty. And you kind of start thinking the more penalties at the goal line, at some point Fordham gets shown a card. And they go with a different run this time. They don't use Lambert. Lambert says, you always go into me. Osanubi. Baker picks and goes. He is taken very nicely by Daly. A pick up and go, very high.
Lambert carrying everyone with him.
But too high. Elling rescues it. What do we got? We're going to see a card now. We got a card. I thought that was going to be a try, but that, I believe, is another penalty. And we do see a card. A series of penalties on the goal line.
Fordham just shooting themselves in the foot here with 2 cards in the half.
Again, they're just so high on that. And going off, I believe that was Finley McCarrick being sent to the side. And now we go a little bit wider. Lambert again. Backs have got to be saying, we're lining up here, my friend. Pass.
Nice
what
hands.
a great take.
Whew. That was a really nice grab. Jake Davis, the freshman.
Pick and go again. Clear out by Elling. Held up. We are held up once more. That is the 3rd or 4th time we've seen the ball held up over the Fordham line.
Yeoman's work going on by the Fordham team.
Well, this is really impressive stuff, and just not giving up on this. And I think tactically, Delaware is being a little bit predictable.
They've got the overload here. I don't know if Fordham recognizes it. The wing on defense. There he comes. Called for it.
No, we haven't seen the backs used in this situation, and it's been the backs who've been scoring for Delaware with McCurdy, Ramirez, Jimenez, Abram. The forwards are going in too high, but here we go. Abram trying to beat 3 players at once. He is caught by 2 of them. Down he comes. Another pick and go, and this time it's going to work. Slam to the ground. Somebody very happy. And I'll get you who did it, but it was a quick pick and go. From right there, getting the water bottle.
I believe that's Ramirez again.
Yeah. So after all the pick and go, you get the smaller guy who stays low.
Right.
And that's a huge try, I think, for Delaware. That really does put it in a good position. And so that was actually, that was Matt Ramirez with his 3rd.
Man, that's a hat trick, buddy. So 13 points away with just under 12 as they get the conversion.
Brilliant kick. And that one is over.
15 points, 3.
So the disputed conversion may not be a factor at this point. 36-21. Delaware now leads. And as I think you were just about to point out, Ryan, that's a 3-score lead.
Yes, sir. Really puts the pressure on Fordham. You see a couple of guys kind of shaking their heads, kind of discouraged, but they've got a lot of fight in them.
Well, they have spent this entire second half defending.
Defending the entire half, you're right.
They had one attacking run, and now Zhitnik broke a few tackles. There goes Osanubi, but then they gave up the ball, and they ended up giving up a try back the other direction. Elling, Yost Elling.
advantage
Davis.
for not running
Hess.
away there.
Hess breaks through. You know they miss O'Brien already. You can tell that Fordham misses O'Brien in the second row making those tackles. And that's Carr. Back out to Davis. Fakes an inside ball to Baker and loses the handle. And offside.
Yeah, they were playing the advantage. Pretty long advantage.
Well, Ryan, who should we fill out for this?
You want to talk man of the match?
Yeah,
I think for
we've got
Delaware,
3
we
each.
have to talk about Matt Ramirez.
I have to talk
3
about Matt
scores.
Ramirez for sure. I think that Abram, when they moved him into more of a center role,
Really
had
took
a
off.
big influence. And I
the
guess
forwards.
in the forwards,
A couple of standout guys. Osanubi's had a nice high work rate.
definitely.
You know, we've both been in love with Lambert all day as well, though.
Will Baker has also
Boy, he's
done
really
a lot of dirty work.
Yeah.
So I think that there are some options there for sure. So I think that we're looking at Ramirez for sure, and quite possibly Abram. And then, I kind of like Osanubi as a choice over Lambert, even though Lambert was sort of a featured attacker. On the
With the work
Fordham
rate.
side, we haven't seen much of Matt Fisher in the second half. In the first half, it was all about him.
There's so much defending in this half.
yeah.
I mean, not much opportunity to shine offensively. So you talk about who's making all these tackles. Who is man standing everybody
Dan,
up
Dan
down.
O'Brien was until he went off. And I kind of think I might want to just give a
him the
nod to
spike.
him anyway.
Yeah.
Zhitnik certainly was their most dangerous runner. Several players, were defending hard. Mara has had some moments at fly half. But I think,
This game was about the forwards as far
yeah,
as Fordham is
there we
concerned.
go. A nice little switch move coming in with Baylor.
Finally some ball in hand for Fordham. Oh, he shook that off.
Fisher.
17 came in there like a rocket, but 23
And we
shook
got
him
a
off
penalty
nicely.
against Fordham this time,
Shoemaker.
coming in from the side. Fordham can't really afford to stand around and have a big, long debate about this, but I think there wasn't a debate. They just wanted Fisher to remember that he was kicking to touch. He misses touch, though. This is what happens when you're trying to bite off huge chunks of it. Abram now is just going to boot it into the corner.
Yeah, great kick.
So smart.
Yeah, and man, the wing on Fordham had, I guess, chased all the way over from this strong side, kind of inexplicably, instead of staying back for the back 3 kick. And Abram really made him pay on that. I think Fordham a little bit surprised how much tenacity was coming from Delaware. Nice line out take. Fordham, finally an opportunity here with offense. Maybe with the flinging tackle. Strong counter ruck as well. Right up after tackling, just back up on his feet. Coming
Right through the middle there. Look at that.
Dribbling, breaking tackles, not to be denied.
Big
Breaking
man.
tackles still.
Well, they needed something like that.
Yeah, everybody else needs to feed off of that.
There's Daly. I think came on for O'Brien, has done quite well. Mara now. Baylor. Fisher. There we go. Fisher dishes it off. And out to Cirillo. But Cirillo was unable to stay in line. And the look he gets from Andrew Washburn, the hooker, was, why don't you stay in field? Abram tries to take it quickly. This slow, quick line out, this is annoying me a little bit because we know the line out has been formed. It's just a waste of time at this point.
Good take. Good throw, real good take. It was contested nicely, but ripped. With the maul formed, Osanubi now has it, giving it over. Tom again with that boot. Again, that wing is not covered.
Well, now they're chasing, and that Ramirez on the chase. Oh, nice little shiftiness
Yeah.
there from
fullback.
McIntyre.
High tackle. Not called.
And a kick ahead. This time Moran is chasing.
Tom Abram knew where that was going to land.
Well, now he's settled back into fullback again.
Behind everyone.
And Abram is sort of directing how this game goes, and he's just saying, you know what? I'll be back at fullback now. I'm going to try and break through and trying to kick, and I'm just going to return it with interest.
I'm going to make
In
my
this
tackles. I'm going to return those kicks.
Yep. Joe Osanubi was offside by 1.5 miles, so they're going to go back to the location of the kick.
That's unfortunate for Delaware because that really was a good kick.
That for me has been the hardest thing as a coach, teaching people new to rugby the idea that, let's go forward, let's go chase, pressure, and then there's a kick, and you're telling them wait because you're offside, and they want to chase the kick. It's like, go get the ball.
Yeah.
That is very, very difficult.
Yeah, that's a difficult wrinkle in the law book, right?
Yeah.
Having the kicker have to reset everybody's onside position.
Fisher, the decoy runner. Baylor, actually the one. Cirillo now. Well, he's
cut it
tracked
inside.
quite Jimenez. And he's on the ground. They should let go of him. There we go. Referee's been so consistent each time. You tackle someone and his knee is on the ground, he's tackled. You can't then keep trying to rip that ball out. And really, in fairness, that's been called enough times that at some point you start showing little rectangles of color.
Well, hopefully not. I mean, I don't like to see too many cards. We've had a couple already.
I want to see more.
Yeah.
More. Let's get them down to about
Discipline,
8 on 11.
Alex Goff is about hard line discipline.
Look at me funny, you're out.
Back chat, you're out.
Oh, you're most definitely. I'm a really annoying referee. Not a very good one, but annoying. Fisher! Fisher gets that flat ball, and he is met quite
strong by Abram.
Yeah.
Side ball.
And then
under 5 minutes.
Basso.
This is last gasp for Fordham to end with a little bit more pride.
Still working that short side. Daly is there to clear out. He's actually got some work done once he's been in there.
Got it through.
Moran trying to kick through. That was just making stuff up when it really wasn't there.
Again,
Deep
the
kick.
goes over everyone's heads. And that back three for Fordham, not quite what
Shoemaker. Shoemaker, he's the one who emailed me their lineup.
I think that guy caught the boot, number 9. As he missed that tackle, he caught the back kick.
He's not feeling good. So there's Delaware is shorthanded. Someone penalty though. The poach was good. Osanubi was right there, and just got a little. He caught a boot, also. When James Sill stood up, I would like to say that was an accident. And the frustration showing for Fordham.
Absolutely. It's been a long half of frustration for them. We saw the argy-bargy going on early in the half, and since then it's just been defense. Unfortunate.
Well, field position control by Delaware has been superb. Abram has been a part of that. We're not giving a man of the match award to Will Baker, but we could have. And there's Baker with the line-out take. The strip by Henry Carr. Part of a really good back row performance by Delaware. And the Blue Hens have got to feel good about this. 36-21 now.
A young back row. So they have to feel good about that future.
All right, so I've got 5 out of 6. Are we putting Zhitnik in here?
Oh, the third man for Fordham?
Yeah.
Yeah, we've got O'Brien in there. We've got Fisher in the backs. Yeah, I believe Zhitnik is the other name that
All
we
right.
were most
Let's
impressed
go with Max Zhitnik.
Yeah, I'm very impressed with Delaware's work rate today, their tenacity, their fitness too. I mean, we thought that we saw a couple of big round bodies that were going to maybe break down as the game went on, but they did not.
Mara with the breakthrough. He slides off a tackle. Less than a minute to go according to the stadium clock. 36-21, Delaware leads.
Breaking a tackle. Good communication.
And they're looking for the, but he's not releasing the tackle player. Referee says, don't do that. Oh, we're going to have a talk. We're going to have a card, in fact. Yeah, there we go. Huh. It's just like I said. You know, and the player's like,
seen it too many times.
he's trying to argue his way out of it, and said, no, be quiet.
It's Matt Ramirez.
Go, yeah. Well, there has been some actions by Delaware at this point. Lambert. Moran passes it out there to Basso.
Two men just broke him in half. Abram
Mara.
and Just.
Ripped down by Osanubi. They're going to call a high tackle. A little bit harsh, but he's been like that the whole game. He wants the tackles below the armpits, and we've seen a number of tackles around the shoulders that he's called high tackle. And you know what? Fair enough, you're consistent.
He certainly is that.
But it's still great aggressive play from Osanubi.
Yep.
Nobody is coasting at this point. And
no, they're both very much in the fight still. You can see the aggression is very much up, the energy levels. They get up from a tackle, very much in tune with to the next play. As we see UMass filing in.
UMass and University of Buffalo are going to clash in a few.
That's another game I'm very excited about.
We'll have Matt McCarthy in there. Buffalo man wants to do that one. Nickel City.
Fair play.
Zhitnik goes in. Basso, a big sub prop. He's a big boy. Out we come again. Baylor touts himself as the most underrated player in the United States. Oh, no, most overrated
yeah.
player in the United States. A little bit different. He's just joking around. Zhitnik.
No, that's
Excuse me. No.
Minicucci.
Minicucci. Also a tough runner in the back row.
Another great poach there. Good job,
And that was
Yost
Elling. Yost Elling. Oh, it's just it's crazy mayhem now in the breakdown. Another penalty against Delaware. They can tap and go.
Nice squirt.
Moran
Oh,
looking for
just
support. He is
Man.
crushed, and the ball goes forward. I think we're going to hear a happy tune from the referee. Let's see what happens.
Just
Doesn't
calling
look like it.
knock.
I think we're going to stick around for the scrum. We've had a few stoppages, some lectures, a couple of injuries, things like that. Referee says we still got time.
Yep.
And players have got to remember that the time on the clock, on the stadium clock, that's just a vague frame of reference.
Yeah.
Not exactly exact. So the referee is still calling time. He should have communicated to the players that there might be a little bit of time left. So one more scrum, I think, for Delaware. Abram.
Number 9.
And,
Number 9 harassing with his foot on that one.
And we're going to reset this one. Somebody said that was turned. I didn't seem to be shifting too far. But we're going to go back with another reset. Delaware trying to close this one out. They're up 36-21, and it was 21-17 at halftime. 19 points, 3 tries in the second half. With total tries for Delaware, McCurdy, Abram, Jimenez, Ramirez got 3, Abram converted 3 of them. And there's Abram, 11 points today, boots it deep. It rolls into touch, flag goes up, and the referee says, that is the ball game. Bowl series win for the Delaware Blue Hens. It had been a long, tough Rugby East season for them, and they have closed out a victory they will remember for a very, very long time.
Look at Stu and Murray, very happy, very relieved. Get that last win in a big way, in a big day. Last day of the fall. Great performance in Delaware. I was really impressed with that. Liked it all the way.
And Fordham, they showed all kinds of flashes, but it was that having to defend for 10, 15 minutes just sucked the life out of them.
Sure did.
I really was impressed with Dan O'Brien, Nate Fisher. He can play. Max Zhitnik, he's just 19 years old. He's a player to watch. Supposedly he can bench over 400 pounds. Good for him.
Well done, gentlemen.
And I think we're going to have awards down here on pitch side. You and I are going to take a break from this. Well, I am. And I know Matt's going to be in here. Stay tuned. We've got Buffalo against UMass. But I will talk to you guys later.
That's special is that it has everything that makes academic medicine great. We have the fellowship trained specialists, but we still bring the style and type of medicine that's indicative of a community practice.
We are all trained in our area of interest and expertise, so our patients see a doctor who specializes in their particular injury.
I did have 2 consults with major New York City hospitals, but I just felt that the care was best here. I was treated like a rock star. The surgery exceeded any expectations that I had.
Hey everybody, back with the coach of the New York Rugby Club High School Sevens program, Joey Rasmus. Joey, great thing to have a youth program. They're growing in New York City. Tell us a little bit about your program.
Yeah, well, it's absolutely great. We have we recruit from high schools all over the city. We got kids from all the boroughs. We at one point actually earlier this season we had guys from all 5 boroughs playing, and we had a guy from Jersey as well. So we're really representative of the city, and it's really great to be trying to grow the sport in the public schools where it's not as big. And we're really trying to do a big recruiting push in the Bronx right now, and in Upper Manhattan, where there's perhaps not the same opportunity that you get in other places in the city to play the sport, but it's growing and it's catching on fast, and it's a lot of fun.
How can folks find out about the program if they want to?
Well, it's really simple. It's really easy to remember. It's NYRFC.com, or if you just Google New York Rugby, we're the first team that comes up, and it's very simple to just email us, and we'll get kids into the program as soon as possible. We want to get as many kids playing rugby in the city as possible.
What's the age range?
We've just started doing middle school, so we're doing middle school, high school right now. So once they get into 6th grade, we'll start putting them in flag and touch, and then once the 7th and 8th grade, we're really excited to get them doing contact rugby. And as you can see, we had one of our guys playing for ERA yesterday. He came through, started playing middle school with our middle school coach, Harold De Lucia, and he's been playing for several years, and then he finally got the nod yesterday, which was great to see, and I heard he did quite well.
And how long's the program going on?
This is actually the 10th anniversary of the high school program,
wow,
which is really exciting. We're going to be celebrating it on Randall's Island next week, and for the New York Sevens tournament, we're going to hopefully have a good showing with our high school program on the 10th anniversary.
So the kids will be partaking in the tournament.
Yep, they will be there at New York Sevens, and we're hoping to beat some of those Canadian teams and get some hardware and keep it in New York City.
Well, I can vouch for your program, and I can vouch for the New York Sevens program and tournament. because I've been with the club since 1987, full disclosure. And how did you get involved in getting this going with the kids?
Yeah, I graduated from college in 2014, and as soon as I graduated, there was a coaching position open for the high school program because one of the coaches had to leave rather suddenly, and it was me and Willie Dominguez, who is one of the founding players on that first high school program team, and we co-coached, and we won the Empire 7 series that summer, our first year coaching, and I guess the rest is history. They kept us on board. And we've been growing a lot. We've had a lot of All-Americans come through in the last few years, and finally getting to play some really good team rugby. I was actually thrilled today because first game of they did like 3 pull-out passes, and as soon as they did those 3 pull-out passes, they scored a try. And I've been trying to get them to do those passes every single game, and I'm just standing on the sideline with my arms up, just going, see what happens there.
Yeah. It's a good feeling. It's a good feeling. Well, thanks for doing what you're doing. It's great to see that these kids are getting this opportunity, and it's expanding their chances for college.
Yeah, of course.
And that's a great as well. But we look forward to more of the New York Rugby high school program, seeing them in tournaments like this, and thanks to guys like you for doing what you're doing.
Thanks. I'll see you next week, and I assume.
All right, we'll see you next week. And with that, I'm going to segue into the introduction of our next match. And I'm going from a New York Rugby Club match right into a University of Buffalo versus UMass match. And I couldn't be happier because that's my alma mater. And I have the pleasure of welcoming into the booth Mr. John Broker. John?
Hey, this is John Broker here at this URugby Bowl Series. And I guess my introduction's been taken away because I wanted to introduce the University of Buffalo's most notorious alumni, Matt McCarthy, here to do this game with me. Should be a pretty exciting matchup. We just saw Fordham and Delaware pull up. What do you think of the day so far, Matt?
I think it's great. I did come up short with my call of Fordham taking down Delaware, but I think the rest of Western New York, or the rest of New York's entries today, are going to make my picks come true.
All right, this is the all New York picks from Matt McCarthy from Rugby Wrap Up. Should be a good game. We got a few minutes to go here, I think. Got to do some lineups. Got to do the national anthem.
Yeah, and we'll be back in a couple of minutes.
All right, we'll come back to that.